Welcome back. Watch as John discusses some issues brought up by one of his great viewers.
Hi everyone, this episode is an addendum to part 3 of 4 on the 18GB motor. An alert viewer by the name of Hans Laro, thank you to you, thank you so much. He caught kind of a glaring issue. Near the tail end of that episode, I was putting the rocker assembly in, and this is the original. And I found out that the shaft was worn. So I went in the old bin and found this one off of a newer, I'm not sure what year, but 18V motor, okay? And I gave him the quick once over and said, hey, they look the same, let's go for it. And I threw it in, and boy, I missed a glaring issue. And I didn't read the literature, I just went for it like an idiot. So I gotta pass this correction on to everyone so that you're just aware of it. Just know that from between the different engines, all right, the GA, GB, along with the chain, 18V, even in the 18V line, which went the longest, some parts are interchangeable and some aren't. All right, so what Hans Laro discovered was, this is the original, so let's look at this one, and notice it's got the single oil port, and that's, you know, extremely important because the oil comes through here, and it comes out of the head through here and then down the whole tube to lube everything. All right, well, notice the one on the later engines, okay? Very different. These are all the same, so all this is the same. But this guy, the first one, the oil change, I should put it that way, very different. And if we look at the head, there's the newer head with that offset oil port here. Let's go look at the GB motor. Notice that the port is right here, right? There's no lobe coming off of here for that port. So as a result of that, if he hadn't caught that mistake, my rocker assembly would have worn out rather quickly, and I would have had troubles with it all along, and I wouldn't have caught that for a long time. So again, I can't thank this chap enough. So yeah, so on this model, they put the hole here, and then they cut this little path in here, and I don't know the why for this. It's probably out there on the forum, but the oil would come pumping to here and then get pushed through this channel and up and through the system. So whereas in mine, the hole is right in line with the hole through the head and it comes up and in. If I had kept this on mine that doesn't have this lobe, right, just has the hole, the oil would have come out of the hole in the head and then had a direct route, because it's under pressure. It would have had a direct route out this channel, and it would have just spit out into the head. So the rocker assembly would have only gotten a minimal portion of the oil it was supposed to have. So that's why that was a major discovery. And again, I can't thank this guy enough. It's awesome. So, and just for everybody who's watching this series, whatever, if you see nonsense and I'm saying stuff that is just flat out wrong, and there's no problem with interpretations and whatever, it's just wrong is wrong, absolutely call me out, put it in the comments, which I read and very much appreciate. So keep up the good work, viewers. he also pointed out that on newer motors, they put .005 thick shims under these two inner pedestals. Rocker towers, rocker pedestals, they got different names. But only under these two. And what that did, if you read the literature, was it caused a slight bowing, as it should when you torque all this down, a slight bow to this shaft, which helped solve a couple of wear problems that they discovered. Now, the GB motor originally doesn't have them. Okay, that I found out. But, oh, and by the way, you don't really get to find out a lot about that except for one excerpt here I'm showing that's in the Haynes manual that says to put these guys in. But in the gospel manual, this guy, it doesn't mention it. So, and also in neither of these does it show them in the parts diagrams. But if you go to the Moss or Rimmer, it does show them as a purchasable option. So it's kind of a interesting thing. And again, kudos for pointing this out to me. So the GB did not have them originally, but the literature says that you should put them in if you're gonna be faffing around with a GB motor. So of course I couldn't find mine from this disassembly, which doesn't mean I lost them. It just means that somewhere along its life, the owner didn't put them back in, I think is what happened. So I'm either gonna have to make them or order them. So I'm gonna see if I have any materials that are .005 first, and then see if I can make some. Other than that, what I'll do is maybe just swap this guy, because this is the better rocker assembly. So what I might do is just swap this guy with this guy, and that will solve that problem. All right, after some careful consideration, what I've decided I'm going to do is just buy a new shaft. According to the Moss catalog, it's the same shaft for all models. And since the shaft is the root of my problems here, I think we're good with that. The rockers, this is the original. The rockers, if you slide them to a good portion of the shaft, like here, they're still pretty tight, which means the bushings on the inside are not too bad. Because you can buy anything. You can get the whole rocker with a bushing, or you can buy bushings and refit them. But they're actually pretty good, and since that shaft is a lot better, these bushings are still in good shape. So once I buy a shaft, I can pick and choose whatever bits and pieces I want. But it does appear to be safe that I could just take this guy and replace it with this guy. Okay, to get that nonsense out of there, and I'd be fine. Everything else seems to be the same. And as for these shims that go under here, actually under here, since I'm buying that shaft, I might as well buy two of those guys too and get it to spec. There you go.
Please join us in our next episode as we continue the 18 GB engine rebuild.